Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of Mental Health Divers. A little disclaimer at the beginning of the video. While recording the audio, I realized that especially during the end, the gameplay gets a little bit choppy. And I think that the frames are kind of messed up at the end. I normally record the gameplay using NVIDIA Shadowplay, but I'm currently testing the Steam recording feature and a bunch of others. I didn't have the time to re-record or record new gameplay, so I have to go with this video file, which is a bit choppy at the end, but I think it will work. I try to figure out what especially went wrong during recording, and next time the gameplay will hopefully be fluent again. Alright, so today I want to talk about a topic that recently came to my mind because I'm struggling with it too. And I want to begin with the thoughts I had. So there's a version of you that maybe you don't like right now. A version you feel stuck with. A version that feels lost, confused, maybe even like a failure. And if that's you, let me tell you that Or let me tell you something I wish someone told me a few years ago. And you don't have to stay that version you don't like at the moment forever. You can shape it, you can rebuild it, you can rewrite your story, no matter how messy it's been. But I want to tell you something about it from my perspective. I believe there are a lot of videos out there with the same topic that tell you, shape yourself and you can get a new version, or the version you are now isn't the version you are stuck with forever. There are plenty of those videos, but I want to give you a bit of insight from my personal life. And for the past years, I've carried around a feeling that a lot of you probably know too well, and that feeling was I didn't know what I was doing with my life. So after finishing, in Germany it's called Realschule. It's high school with it's a bit confusing. Google it. I finished Realschule and I thought I had a plan. I wanted to do a specialized education in IT technology, and at the time it made sense. I liked tech. I wanted something stable, something with a future, but then came the part nobody prepared me for, and that part was math and physics. And they weren't just tough objects, the subject. They were brick walls I kept running into, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't push past them. And failing that special education hit me really hard. It hit me harder than I expected at that moment, not because it was just school, but because I had tied a large part of my identity and worth to a path that suddenly didn't work out anymore. And I felt like a failure, and like I had let people down, and especially myself. And after that, well, I think then there comes a part that a lot of people don't talk about much, because it's a part where you have to ask yourself, what do I want to do when the thing that you planned doesn't work out? And well, for me it was I didn't just want to sit around, so I applied for voluntary year at the local tourist office, and honestly, it was a great time. It was a great year. I made many new friends, and I had a really chill time. Although I was a quiet guy and a bit of introverted, and didn't talk really that much during the. We had. I talked much at work, but not much during. We had quarterly. How it's called? It were some kind of meetings, and I was a bit introverted, but I had my group of friends, and we hung out together, and it was a cool time, and I'm still friends with the boss I had during that time. Really cool dude too, and I enjoyed his company, but it was nothing really. Okay, I call it not really life changing, because I knew there has to be something after that, and it was not something I saw myself doing forever too, to be honest. But at this time, it gave me structure, and sometimes I think that this is all we need in a moment of a crisis, a reason to get out of bed and show up somewhere. And after that year, I started working for a lawyer, and again, it wasn't a dream job I applied for. Honestly, I wasn't that passionate about the field, but there were some troubles behind the scenes that didn't work out that really well for me neither. So after a year, I quit, and well, it was a job, and when you're lost, sometimes doing something feels better than doing nothing. So yeah, but I want to be honest here that during that time I was still struggling inside, because I hadn't found a thing where I was really sure about it, and even though I was working, I was showing up and trying to be productive, I kept asking myself one question over and over again: is this really my life? Was this it? Was this who I was going to be? And at the end of the day, I didn't have the answers. And worse than that, I didn't even know what question to ask after that. So at some point, the feeling of being stuck caught up with me, and I had tried one thing, then another, but I still didn't feel like I had found myself. I had a real identity crisis, the kind where you question everything. Am I wasting time? Am I falling behind? Am I ever going to figure out what I'm meant to do? The pressure, especially when you look around and see people your age figuring it out or moving forward, can feel unbearable, honestly. Social media even makes it worse. You see the highlight of reels of people's lives and you think, why not me? What's wrong with me? But here's the truth. I didn't know then. There is nothing wrong with being unsure, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with being or with starting over. And there's nothing wrong with taking longer than others to figure it out. So I realized something important during the time, that no one was going to come and fix this for me. Obviously, I had much support from family and friends, but they can't just come in and fix my life for me. That isn't possible, and it shouldn't be possible. There was no magic opportunity, there was no perfect mentor, no guaranteed path, and if I wanted a different life, I had to choose a different path. So I made a decision that scared me a little, and that was going back to school. I had this special education in IT technology. I tried it, and I decided to get back and get my in Germany it's called Abitur. It's I believe it's high school graduation in America. I don't know. I hope it's something like this. And something I had never really thought I'd do after everything that happened. And I never saw myself at school again. no, why should I do that? And I didn't feel smart enough, and I didn't feel like I belonged, but I went there anyway. And slowly, class by class, year after year, I started to believe in myself again. Obviously, I can't lie to you, the end was pretty hard, but I had really great company, and gained lifelong friends there, which I still meet regularly. Honestly, I think I will next meet them this weekend, actually. And, well, I started to believe in myself again, and the version of me that had failed math, the version of me that didn't know where to go next, it was still there, but he wasn't the only version of me anymore. There was a new one growing beside me, one that showed up, one that tried again, one that stopped letting the past define him. And now we go a little bit fast forward, and today I study media and film studies at a university, and for the first time in a long time I feel like I'm where I need to be. I have great people around me, and it's, well, I'm still not perfect. The circumstances are still not perfect because obviously you're growing, but and I still have doubts sometimes, insecurities, tough days, but I no longer feel like I'm drifting through life with no anchor. And I found something that fits me. I found something that fuels me, something I care about. And here's what I want you to know if you're listening or watching this, and you feel like that this whole theme resonates with you. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to start again, no matter how many times you failed. You are allowed to become a version of yourself that the old you would never have even dreamed of. You are not your mistakes. You are not the person who couldn't pass a class. You are not the job you didn't love. You are not the past you're trying to outrun. And you are whoever you choose to become. And, well, sometimes we hate the version of ourselves we're in right now because we feel powerless inside it. We think, this is just who I am now. I will never change. I've wasted too much time. The time part is something that really resonates with me. But none of these things are true, because you're still becoming the version you want to become. You're still learning. And time, no matter how much you think you have lost, well, the time is still on your side if you're willing to try again. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it happens in tiny choices, repeated over and over. Choosing to wake up is the first thing you can do, especially. Well, so if this story resonates with you, and it's if it's resonate with you, it's probably because you've had moments too that are similar to the story I told you, and moments where you felt like you were falling behind, like everyone else had their life together, but you were stuck in a loop. And I want to send you off with the words, or let me say this to you, and then send you off into a new week. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not alone. There are many people out there trying to figure it out just like you. Some are ahead, some are behind, but we are all walking our own path, and no two paths are the same. Some people know what they want at 18. Some don't figure it out until they're talk too fast. Some don't figure it out until they are 30. It's not about the timeline. It's about the effort, the growth, and the courage to keep going. So, well, looking back, the only thing that truly changed my life wasn't some external opportunity, but it was an inner shift. I stopped giving up on myself, and even when I didn't feel smart enough, even when I doubted my future, even when I hated the version of me I saw in the mirror, I still showed up. And every time I did it, I proved that version of me wrong, bit by bit. And you can do this too. That's the power you have. You don't have to become perfect. You just have to become better. A little more focused, a little more intentional, a little more kind to yourself. That's especially important. Be kind to yourself. Because in really, really tough times, being kind to yourself is the most important thing you can do. And so, if you're in a rough chapter right now, remember my words, watch this video again, and the version of you that feels lost, ashamed, or not good enough, that version doesn't define you. It's just a chapter, it's not the whole book. Damn. What a calendar quote. You will look back one day and you will realize that everything you went through shaped the person you're becoming at the moment. And don't be afraid of change, and don't be afraid to start over, and don't think that the way things are right now is how they have to stay. You're more capable than you think, and your story isn't even over yet. Alright, have a great week. I will figure out the... now it was present in the video. And I will figure out the FPS issues that are occurring during recording, and next time you will see fluent Helldivers 2 gameplay from the most beautiful planets the game has to offer. Have a great week. Tell me your story, tell me what you think, what keeps you awake at night, and stay healthy, stay safe, watch out for yourself, be kind to each other, and see you soon. Goodbye.
Ankunftszeit T-1 Minute 30 Sekunden.
Markiere Position, südöstlich.
Ankunftszeit T-1 Minute.
Wir benötigen ein Geschütz! Fordere Unterstützungswaffe an!
Ankunftszeit T-30 Sekunden. Ankunftszeit T-20 Sekunden.
Magazin leer! Fordere Befestigungen an!
Ankunftszeit T-10 Sekunden. Landezone räumen.
Pelikan 1 nähert sich Abholung. Bitte Luftunterstützung!
Also fertig!
Pelikan 1 bereit zum Abflug. Shuttle-Start in 20 Sekunden.
Verstärkungsbudget ist aufgebraucht.
Evakuierung abgeschlossen. Pelikan 1 hebt nun ab. Diese Stadt wird bald wieder ein